Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Midday News with Montana. That's fun. Get a tongue tie right out the gate. Hey Moo, how's it going out there? Good to see you, dear. Hopefully everything is getting a little better. Maybe, hopefully. Well, just the same, I'm glad you're here. Well, y'all know how this news program goes. We try to fly through it as quickly as possible. We try to keep it under 1 hour. You guys can get into your day without too much delay. So that's what we're going to do today. And let's just jump right into it here. Take a look at this one first. Breaking. Hunter Biden asked Joe Biden's assistant, AG, Delaware AG, and IRS to go after individuals close to President Trump who shared information from his laptop. Shocker. I thought it wasn't his laptop. What the heck? Huh. How did that happen? Let's see. Oh, that's a good picture of him right there. That's a expert. Hunter Biden is asking the federal government and the Delaware AG to go after individuals who shared personal information from his laptop. Hunter Biden is going after John Paul MacIsaac, Rudy Giuliani, his attorney, Robert Costello, Stephen K. Bannon, Garrett Ziegler, Jack Maxey, and Yakov Appelbaum. Wow, you couldn't make that name up twice, could you? Hunter Biden lost custody of his computer after he abandoned them at the computer repair shop owned by John Paul MacIsaac in Delaware in April of 2019. I thought they weren't his. So confused. Lawyer for President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, have asked the Justice Department to investigate close allies of former President Donald Trump and others who they say accused and disseminated personal data from the laptop that he dropped off at the Delaware computer repair shop in 2019. Oh, that should read that he abandoned Delaware computer repair shop in 2019. At that point, it's free game. It's actually the property of the shop owner. In a separate letter, Biden's attorney has also asked Fox News host Tucker Carlson to retract and apologize for what they say are false and defamatory claims made repeatedly about him on air, including implying without evidence that he had unauthorized access to classified documents found at his father's home. Interesting. The request for a criminal inquiry, which comes as Hunter Biden faces his own tax evasion investigation by the Justice Department, has no particular impact and does not commit federal prosecutors to take any action. But it nonetheless represents a concerted shift in strategy and a rare public response by the young Biden and his legal team to years of attacks by Republican officials. Conservative media. There you go. Hunter's whining. Who could have ever saw that coming? What do we got next here? GOP councilwoman shot and killed outside her New Jersey home. A GOP councilwoman in northern New Jersey was found shot to death in her vehicle Wednesday night in a possible targeted attack. Possible? Okay. 9/11 received a call with reports of shots fired around 7:20 Wednesday evening. Eunice Dwumfor, 30, was found deceased in her car with multiple gunshot wounds in Saryville, the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office says. The suspect, hard to believe, is still at large. Yeah, and it was turned over to the FBI. Yeah, exactly. This is an active and ongoing investigation. Anyone with information or surveillance footage of the area is asked to call Detective Rebecca Morales of the Sayreville Police Department at 732-727-4444, or Detective Michael Coppola of the Middlesex County Prosecuting Office, 732-745-3477. Prosecuting Office said. Hmm. A borough councilwoman in northern New Jersey was found shot to death in her car on Wednesday night, and investigators are looking for answers. We already read that part. Sayreville police received a 911 call reporting shots fired and were dispatched to the resident property in the township just before 7:30 p.m. Wednesday evening. When they arrived, officers discovered Dornfer inside her vehicle. He had sustained multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene, according to the prosecuting office. Dornfer was 30 years old. A homicide investigation is underway as authorities work to locate the suspect. The county prosecutor has asked anyone with information about Dornfer's death or access to the surveillance footage, same thing we read, blah, 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 just reading it twice. Interesting. GOP lady gets shot. Nobody talks about it. Here's an interesting one for you. Canadian government forces dairy farmer to dump 30,000 liters of milk because he exceeded his quota. A little over 16,000 gallons of milk. Imagine that, 16,000 containers of milk. Just imagine that in your house. That's how much this guy dumped down the drain. Because he had to. A dairy farmer from southern Ontario, Canada, has spoken out about how the Canadian government makes farmers dump thousands of liters of fresh milk because they have gone over the quota. Guess somebody should tell those cows there's a quota. In a video shared with TikTok by Travis Hagen, Canadian dairy farmer Jerry Human expresses his outrage at the Canadian government and the dairy farmers of Ontario for wasting hundreds of liters of liters of fresh milk despite inflation. Right now, during the winter months, you milk quite a bit more milk because the feed is very consistent. Yeah, they're not grazing, they're feeding them directly. And if you do a good job, you will produce quite a bit of milk. But right now, we are over our quota, and it's regulated by the government and by the DFO, said Human. Look at the milk running away. It's the end of the month. I dumped 30,000 liters of milk, and it breaks my heart. This year, Canadians are paying an average of $7 a liter for milk, and they're dumping 30,000 liters. When I get a haircut, people say, wow, $7, Jerry, for a little bit of milk? I say, well, you have to go higher up because we have no say anymore as a dairy farmer on our own farms because they make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time, I'm going public, Jerry continued. Here we go, let's watch his video.
Hey guys, we're here at MidDay Farm in Southern Ontario. We milk about 260 cows. Right now during the winter months, you milk quite a bit more milk because the feed is very consistent. And as you do a good job, you will produce quite a bit of milk. So, but right now we're over our quota. It's regulated by the government and by the DFO. But the problem is what they don't understand is millions of people look at this milk running away because it's the end of the month. So I have to dump 30,000 liters of milk. It breaks my heart. I will show you. By the way, this here, Canadian milk, it's $7 a liter. When I go for my haircut, people say, wow, $7, Jerry, for a little bit of milk. I say, well, you have to go higher up because we have no say anymore as a dairy farmer on our own farm because they make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time I'm going public. I want the people to see the pain that us growers have of 365 days. As a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what's happening. Oh, by the way, only one country in the world, here in Canada, there's not the United States, not Europe, where they dump thousands of liters when they're over. But we're not supposed to talk about this because, I don't know, it's just one of those things. But as it's happening, I hope the DFO does look at this and says to herself, you tell me, if you're in the pig business, the wood industry, any steel industry, if you're 10% over when your times are good, how can you, so for us when it's good, our little bit of profit, it goes down the drain. How you guys dare to put this product in the market for $7 a liter and think that that's okay when there's a lot of mothers, single mothers with no extra, like, they have maybe a few kids to feed or whatever, or the sick kids hospital it could go to. It could go anywhere, to the food banks. But I hope you're proud, and I think you're going to be surprised, because yes, my name is Jerry Hugan. And I'm very proud that we send a really good product. And that you just kind of tell us, well, throw it down the drain. Nobody sees it. It's okay, but it's not okay. So, with that being said, one of the best products in the world. We've been milking here for 43 years. So I just hope that people will share this. I hope that I haven't defended anybody, but the dairy industry, for my kids, it has to keep growing. We're not growing, not even by 10%. We get a little bit of quota for free, okay, that gets given to us. Should never be that way. You should buy, just like a trucker has to buy his transport truck, okay? And by the way, my 90 cents that I get for my liter of raw milk, they really have to do nothing to it because it's the best milk in the world. But what happens is, I pay for the trucking, I pay for the commercialized, everything gets paid to the farmer. Okay? So, but anyways, I do want to see, as you can see here, Abraham, the good product, the cows are happy. I mean, look at these cows, right? They are free roaming. She's got a smile. So, anyhow, all I can say is I'm standing up a little bit for the local people. And I hope you think to yourself, hey, that farmer for 90 cents and they're paying $7, where does the extra money go? And they capped us. So I can't grow my business at all. What am I going to tell my 4 kids? Hey, how do you want me to do it? Since 3 years ago they capped it. We're going to go 6% higher in interest, like 6%. We're looking at high interest rate. The double, 3 times over on fuel. We are not going to stay in business in this country. So Justin Trudeau and Rob Ford, I'd love to take you for dinner. Okay? Call me, sit down with Hugan Bros Farm, and I think shit like this, we have so much poverty over the whole world. Hard-working people like myself, I dare to say that, 7 days a week as a little boy. I have looked at farm workers. They cannot, they're sick to this. Mr. Hugan, what are you doing? I said, well, at the end of the month, I have to dump all my milk. I'm supposed to keep it quiet. Take that to the bank.
Well, he seems a little upset. Yeah, Moo, I saw the artificial inflation. Don't forget about the shortages out there. So, yeah. Oh my, look at that. Join the dumping crew today. Good way to find out my drain was clogged as well. Hopefully the last FU from 2022. Yeah. Canada has a national supply management system for poultry, eggs, dairy, and turkey industries. They limit, wow. That's just silly talk. Hey, we're making too much of this, dump it down the drain. You know, although we say that, and he said, oh, there's no cases of that anywhere else in the world. That's not necessarily true. There was quite a bit of farm ground that was slash cut over in Kansas and Iowa, and it was the federal government coming in and paying the farmer to till X amount of corn and soybean. Till it under. We'll pay you for it. Why is the question. Why were they doing it? The other thing that our government does with the dairy farmers anyway is that's why you have the National Commodities Program. So the government cheese and all that kind of stuff, that's where our overages in dairy goes to. The federal government purchases it and makes a horrible product and gives it to people in need. I say give them the raw milk and let them figure out what to do with it, because they would get way more out of it. Let it separate, you get cream, your raw milk, so a little rennet, you can make cheese. There's a whole host of things that you can do with raw milk. But they say we can't do that. That's against the law. But yet this is okay. FDA warns White House recommendation to get COVID-19 booster and flu shot at the same time may increase the risk of stroke. Oh, well, that's great. After 3 years of the pandemic, looks like the conspiracy theorists and anti-vaxxers were right again. Last week, a small official study reveals that receiving both the flu shot and Pfizer's COVID bivalent booster at the same time may increase the risk of stroke. On December 2022, FDA admitted that Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines had been linked to blood clotting in older individuals, based on the results of one of the largest studies of elderly persons aged 65 years and older. There you go. There you go. Keep taking them pokes like they tell you to, like a good little soldier. Another power grid attack. LAX airport goes completely dark after suffering power outage. Los Angeles International Airport on Wednesday afternoon went completely dark after suffering a power outage. TSA temporarily stopped screening passengers, and some departing flights were impacted. Power was restored about an hour later. It is unclear what caused the outage. Don't know how it's an attack then. Other than they're not telling you. I don't know. What do we have going on here? Nope. Go this way. Let's go to here. Oh, look. DC Comics went woke. DC Comics reveals a new trans non-binary superhero named Circuit Breaker. Trans, but not super into the binary. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Got Circuit Breaker now. DC Comics recently announced it would release a comic book series on Valentine's Day featuring a new transgender, non-binary superhero named Circuit Breaker. In a January Twitter post, Helen Copeland, a cartoonist who digs gay psychedelia, horror, and superheroes, revealed the new DC character and identified the superhero pronoun as he, they. What the fuck? Meet Jules Jourdain. He, they, aka Circuit Breaker. Can a new hero channel the exorbitant still force energy to fend off evil? I'm sorry, but a transgender, non-binary superhero. Okay. Well, would it be a hero or a heroine? Hera they? What? I don't understand. When asked by a Twitter user about Circuit Breaker's gender identity, Copeland replied, trans, but not super into the binary. What? DC comic editor Andre Shee stated on social media that the transgender non-binary superhero is sure to become a new favorite alongside Superman and Batman. Well, you know, there's always been questions about Batman and Robin, so that would you know, suit, I guess. I'm sorry. This world is so screwed. I'm not going to touch that one. Yeah, exactly. Florida man. Oh, you got to love Florida man. Florida man gnawed off head of pet python during violent domestic dispute. That's a winner right there, isn't it? He's a cute one. Yeesh. A Florida man bit off the head of a pet python during a heated and violent domestic dispute with a woman, according to police. The Miami-Dade Police Department responded, you gotta be, you know, to be a cop in Florida, that's something special right there. Anyway, the Miami-Dade Police Department responded to the report of a domestic dispute at an apartment complex just after 5:20 a.m. Ooh. Snake dinner was early that day, on Monday. When police arrived at the apartment, they reportedly could hear a man and a woman yelling at each other. Then the cops allegedly heard the woman scream after they knocked on the front door. The woman pleaded with the police, just kick the door in. Police forcibly entered the home and witnessed Kevin Justin Mayorga, 32, fleeing the room. He reportedly attempted to close a door in another room to trap the victim against her will. Police officers instructed Mayorga to put his hands up, but he reportedly resisted. An officer used a taser on Mayorga, but the weapon had no effect on him. So this is a problem with the tasers. Depending on what that person is on or addicted to, or even just their, you know, neurological makeup, it doesn't necessarily work every time. While officers attempted to restrain Mayorga, he allegedly started punching them. He is said to have punched one of the officers in the eye with a handcuff. Ow. That was only on one of his wrists. The police officer suffered abrasions on his face. Police were finally able to restrain Mayorga. A woman in the residence informed police that Mayorga gnawed off the head of a pet python. The woman claimed that Mayorga grabbed the snake and decapitated the animal. Police allegedly confirmed the snake's decapitation after finding the ball python's body and its severed head near the front door. Jail records show that Mayorga was charged with 1 count each of animal cruelty with the intent to kill, false imprisonment, and resisting an officer with violence. The Cutler Bay man was booked into the... Wow, I can't believe he actually did it. Booked into the Turner Gulffield Night Correction Center and held on $15,000 bond. That's not enough. According to the Animal Diversity Web, ball pythons are also known as royal pythons. Ball pythons get their name for coiling up into a ball when they are frightened or stressed. There you go. Nom nom nom. Do the head off a snake. Weird son of a bitch. Pardon me. Minnesota governor makes abortion a fundamental right, even though abortion is already legal in the state. This goes a little deeper than that, too. Let's see. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed a bill into law that establishes abortion as a fundamental right. Bill HF1, or the Protect Reproduction Option Act, describes reproductive health care as an all-encompassing series of procedures and services, including, listen closely, including abortion, contraception, sterilization, family planning, and more. Some key words there. Though abortion is already legal in Minnesota, this marks the first legislative act by the state body to attempt to further codify abortion or its access. After last year's landmark election across the country, we're the first state to take legislative action to put these protections in place, the governor said during the signing ceremony. The bill, which mentions neither the word woman nor woman or woman, focuses on an individual's having the right to abortion access. See, everybody's concentrating on the abortion one. There's something else that we're going to talk about here. Every individual, notice how they're not saying every adult, every individual who becomes pregnant has the fundamental right to continue the pregnancy and give birth, or obtain an abortion, and to make autonomous decisions. Another keyword, autonomous decisions about how to exercise this fundamental right. The bill's text reads. By the way, what the hell what happened to Minnesota? If you live in Minnesota, and I know we have some foxholers here that live in Minnesota, and actually some creators that live in Minnesota, get out. You're not going to save your state. It has went to hell in a handbasket, just like California, Oregon, New York. Get out. Get out. Let them fail. And when they completely fail, then you can go back home. But stop fighting for a lost cause. Democrats control Minnesota legislature along with $17.6 billion surplus, moving swiftly to push through the new bill in the first month of the 2023 legislative session. Okay, so everybody's concentrating on the abortion side of this, right? Okay. Let's go back up to the bill here. We're gonna talk about this a little bit. Right there. So, abortion. Yep. Contraception. That's going to be forcing people forcing healthcare insurance companies into providing contraception. Doesn't matter the religious beliefs of the company that is helping pay for that healthcare. Here's the big one: sterilization. Which sterilization, you're thinking, meh. So, what's the big deal? That is the underlying keyword for something also called a transitional surgery. Transgenderism. Sterilization. And then I told you to listen to this one down here. Make autonomous decisions. Notice there's no keywords in here about age, adult, people under or over the age of 18. None of that. This says every individual can make an autonomous decision. That also says that the parents of said individual, if they are under the age of 18, do not need to make the decision with the child. The child can make the decision autonomously, meaning on their own. That means when little Susie wants to become little Derek at age 7, you are going against their fundamental rights as a parent if you stand in the way of this happening. Scary Bill. Get out of Minnesota. Just saying. Sit this one out. Father of teen killed in Parkland shooting responds to when Newsom criticizes Florida's permitless carry proposal. For those of you that don't know, these people are insane. Yeah, exactly. For those of you that don't know, Florida is currently voting on making Florida the 26th state, I believe, in constitutional carry. Ryan Petty, whose 14-year-old daughter, Ileana, was among the 17 people killed in the 2018 shooting at Parkland, Florida High School. He responded to California Governor Gavin Newsom, shitbag, criticism of the permitless carry proposal in the Sunshine State, telling the Golden State Governor to sit this one out. Fact: permitless carry does not make you safer. States that allow concealed carry have higher gun homicide rates, Newsom tweeted. Not true. He noted that proposal in Florida is being made close to the 5-year anniversary of the Parkland shooting. Hey Gavin, my daughter Ileana was killed at Parkland and I support permitless carry in Florida. If my daughter were alive, she'd be carrying because she would be defenseless in a gun-free zone. Let's sit this one out. Exactly. Plus, hey Gavin, I want you, if you're listening, which I know you're not, but if you were listening, stay in fucking California. You're a governor, not a president. Shut your mouth and sit down. DeSantis' bill would remove background checks. Not true. Instruction. He wouldn't remove it. He would make it an option. Training and oversight. Training is an option. Oversight, not true. We still have oversight of our firearms. But this line of bullshit about background checks, it really gets old. Really gets old. Because if you have to buy a firearm of any type, and you purchase it from an FFL, which is a federal firearms license dealer, you have to submit a background check. We already have them. Shut up. The bill, which Governor Ron DeSantis supports, would allow people to carry a concealed firearm without a license. Under the proposal, people would be authorized to carry a concealed weapon if they meet certain criteria required to obtain a license, though they would not need to get a license or the training required to obtain the license. Just want to know you have the ability, doesn't mean you have it. California has suffered some horrific tragedies over the last couple weeks in mass shootings, but I thought it was only the... Anyway, Gavin Newsom's a jackass. We all know that. And the more states out there that can pass constitutional carry, the better. This Republican will reportedly launch a presidential bid in February. But guess who it is? That one right there. Yeah. Nikki Haley, who served as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations during the portion of former President Donald Trump's White House tenure, will reportedly launch a 2024 presidential bid in February, according to the Post and Courier. There you go. We'll see in February. Supposed to be taking place February 15th. So, we invite number 2 to the presidential race. And by the way, I saw Trump was complaining about, Nikki Haley was going against her word and said she wouldn't run. And he said the same thing again about DeSantis, how that would be, a stab in the back from DeSantis. I'm like, get used to it. People are going to run against you. You're not an incumbent. So, yeah, they're going to throw their hat in the ring. Plus, it's a good way to find your vice president. Just ask Biden. 4-year-old dies from lack of oxygen after excessive swaddling and a possible exorcism. A North Carolina couple is in custody facing murder charges after their adopted son died earlier this month. On January 5th, 41-year-old Joseph Wilson of Mount Airy, North Carolina, just south of the Virginia border, called 911, claiming that his son was having a seizure. When EMT arrived, they determined that 4-year-old Skylar Wilson wasn't breathing and rushed him to the Brenner Children's Hospital. 4 days later, the boy died. An autopsy report indicated that Skylar had died of hypoxia brain injury, which occurs when the brain has been deprived of oxygen. Ugh. The circumstances leading up to the boy's untimely death suggest a disturbing pattern of abuse in the Wilson home. On December 7th, Skylar's former foster mother called the Surrey County Department of Social Services to report her concerns about the safety of Skylar, his brother, whom the Wilsons had also adopted, and the Wilsons' biological children. According to the foster mom, Wilson's wife, 38, Jody Ann Wilson, had admitted to isolating her adopted sons, placing them on food restrictions, and even performing exorcisms. Although the woman did not elaborate on what such alleged exorcism entailed, or whether they were at all connected to any religious beliefs in the Wilsons may have. That's just sick. We need something fun. We need something fun. If I can. After that story, we need something funny. Wouldn't you agree? I think so. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Rashida Tlaib is always good for a laugh. Democrat Rashida Tlaib melts down as Republicans remove raging bigot Ilhan Omar from House Foreign Affairs Committee. Ooh, she looks angry. Wow. Like a big mouth Billy Bass coming at you. Look at that thing. Call in the exorcist. Oh, bad line on that one. Democrat Representative Rashida Tlaib melts down as Republicans vote to remove raging bigot Ilhan Omar from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. On Thursday, Republicans voted to remove Ilhan Omar, a national security threat, from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. The vote was 218 to 211. Ilhan Omar married her own brother in order to defraud the U.S. immigration. The Democrat was finally removed from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Ilhan Omar, partner in crime, didn't take it too well. Can I go full size on this one? Oh, I can.
Congresswoman Omar, in the same week, they introduced a bill to ban federal employees from engaging in censorship. Where are the free speech warriors today? The hypocrisy is obvious to the American people. You are showing who you all are, really.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Omar will not be silenced.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Congresswoman Omar,
the gentlewoman's time has expired.
That our country is failing you today through this chamber. You belong.
The gentlewoman is no longer recognized, and the gentleman from Mississippi is recognized.
Madam Speaker, I reserve.
Gentlewoman from.
Oh, God. You know, my 5-year-old doesn't complain that much when he doesn't get his way. I can't imagine being an adult and making an ass out of yourself, as Rashida Tlaib has done so many times. Here's a sad story from the local area here. Teen killed during a rodeo in bull riding accident, and it's not what you think. It wasn't a jab. The teen was killed on Saturday night during a North Carolina rodeo. The Rafter K Rodeo Company identified the victim as Denham Bradshaw. According to the Winston-Salem Journal, Bradshaw was thrown from a bull and was in cardiac arrest when EMT arrived. He got stepped on. Just sad. Our sport is truly a family, and we are so thankful for everyone that was there to help. We're thankful for our on-site EMT, paramedics, and law enforcement that work so hard to care for the cowboys. Yeah, rodeo's no joke, especially not bull riding, saddle bronc, bareback. I mean, I've even seen barrel racers that got pretty damn hurt. So, yeah. God, that sucks. Trying to see if we can see how young he was. He was a young kid, too. I want to say he was like 17. But, yeah. Here's a good story. Woman shoots 2 men during alleged attack outside of her Billings residence. Yep. This is it. Montana is a fuck around and find out state. A woman shot 2 men allegedly attacking her outside of her residency in Billings on Saturday, January 28th, 2023. The shooting happened at about 12:45 p.m. Saturday in an alley in the 2000 block of Cook Avenue. Police described the incident on social media as a possible robbery with shots fired. Billings police said Monday the 25-year-old woman shot the 2 men, allegedly 29 and 37, in an apparent case of self-defense. As far as the victims using a firearm for self-defense, the law is pretty clear on people's rights to use self-defense when they can articulate a threat themselves or others. Now, there's a key word there. The reason that I wanted to go over this. Believe it or not, in a self-defense case, you don't have to prove there was an attacker. You have to reasonably determine or reasonably think that there is a threat to yourself or others. That's it. So, you know, people always talk about, oh, well, he just had a knife. He never even lunged at the guy. I don't care. You brought a knife to a gunfight. That's not my fault. You are threatening me. I feel threatened. Pretty simple. Let's see. Let's Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Like all cases of this nature, the case will be reviewed by the county attorney's office, and they could bring forth criminal charges against the shooter if they deemed the threat didn't meet the level of force. So that basically means, you know, if somebody's screaming and yelling at you about 3 blocks away, you can't say that you felt threatened and you shot him. In this case, I highly doubt that she's going to have any charges brought against her, but if she does, she's got a pretty good chance in court. The report indicated that the suspect attacked the victim at her car outside of her residence. Lennox said in the statement, the victim pulled her concealed firearm and both suspects were shot. One of the men who was shot remained at the scene and the other ran from the area but arrived later at the hospital. Duh. Lennox added that neither of the 2 men have yet been arrested or charged, but the case has been sent to the county attorney's office for review and pending charges. Missoula attorney Paul Ryan is familiar with Montana's justified use of force law. He represented Marcus Karma in 2014 after Karma shot and killed a German exchange student whom he caught trespassing in his garage in Missoula. People think of self-defense and things like that, but the actual legal term is justified use of force. Okay. Ryan said in a web interview Monday afternoon, the law allows you to defend yourself with the same force that they're coming with. That's not true. That is wrong. If somebody is punching me in the head, I have a reasonable thought that they are going to kill me. I have the right at that point to defend myself. So that is a lie. This gentleman doesn't understand the law. Sorry. If someone comes at me with a bat, that doesn't mean the only thing I can defend myself with is a bat. And that's basically what he's trying to say here is, defend yourself with the same force that they're coming with, essentially. No, that's not true. This guy's an idiot. Karma is currently serving 7-year sentence after being found guilty of deliberate homicide. Yeah, so I would get a hold of that attorney and ask him what his thoughts are when he lost a case like that. There's different standards depending on location. That's true. For example, there's a different standard if you're in your house versus outside of your house. That's not true. Montana is a castle state. It's our property. There's different standards if you're defending property versus your person. That is true. If you're defending property, you have to... Well, yeah. If you're defending property, you have to actually basically give the person a chance to retreat. You know, if they're running away from your house with something in their hand, you can't shoot them in the back. If they're running into your house and all they're doing is stealing things, you still have the ability to defend your property. Montana law says a person is justified in use of force, but only if the person responds. What? Reasonably? Aha. Remember what I said. Here we go. Montana law says a person is justified in use of force, but only if the person reasonably believes the force is necessary to prevent immediate death or serious bodily harm. So you just have to reasonably believe. You don't have to necessarily prove that that person was there to kill you. But if somebody's running up to my house with a gun in their hand, I can reasonably believe that the necessary use of force will be me to use a firearm. I don't have to prove that that person was coming here to kill me. So, there was a little discombobulation in there, but we made it through. Last one here. Dances with Wolves actor arrested, accused of running a sex cult and abusing young girls. You guys remember months and months and months ago, I talked about all of the Native women that were, Native young women that were coming up missing in Montana. And I believe President Trump even signed an act for missing and endangered Native women because of trafficking. And this gentleman right here just arrested on it. After a month-long investigation, Dances with Wolves actor Nathan Lee chasing his horse was arrested and charged on suspicion of running a cult and sexual assault a multitude of young indigenous girls over the last 2 decades. The Las Vegas home of Nathan Lee chasing his horse, who goes by Nathan Chasing Horse, and his 5, you're reading this right, his 5 wives was raided on Tuesday evening, according to the Associated Press, which first reported the story. Chasing Horse was arrested and taken into custody. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said Chasing Horse was arrested on 6 charges: sexual assault of a child less than 16 years of age. That's disgusting. 2 counts of sexual assault, 2 counts of sex trafficking of an adult, and child abuse neglect. He is also accused of recording sexual assault and arranging sex with the victims from other men who paid him. Chasing Horse 46 was not commented publicly on the charges against him. Now you would think, what the hell does this have to do with Montana? Right? Where is it? Right down here. Chasing Horse was born on the Rosebud Reservation, which, by the way, if I know that reservation well, he's a mean motherfucker. You grew up on the Rosebud Indian Reservation in South Dakota, where I'm originally from. He's a dirty pool. All I'll say. Let's see. One of the 7 tribes of the Lakota Nation. Yeah. According to the warrant, he was banished in 2015 from Fort Peck Reservation in Poplar, Montana, amid allegations of human trafficking. And they also had to get a hold of Alberta. This guy traveled quite a bit. But there you go. Remember I talked about this. I said there's a lot of Native American girls that are coming up missing and never to be seen again. Oh, and I don't think it's just a coincidence. I don't think there's that many of them running away from home or anything like that. And I can tell you that now this information was third hand given to me, but a friend of mine runs a ranch up in Babb, Montana, which is just north of the Blackfoot Indian Reservation. And the cartels are heavy in the Native American tribes around Montana. And they figured out that if they get these Native Americans hooked on, methamphetamines or opioids, they can get them basically become an indentured servant. And when they don't have the money to pay for their drug addiction, well, they just give up a kid or two into trafficking. He said he's heard it and seen it quite a few times himself. You can look up where Babb, Montana is. You'll find out that it's pretty small, and people talk a lot there, just like any small town. All right, let's get into the weather. We don't have too much longer to go here. Let's take a look at our forecast for today. 51 degrees in Seattle with mostly cloudy skies going on over there. Boise, you're looking at 37 and sunny conditions. Medford, Oregon, 55 degrees and mostly cloudy skies for you. Reno, Nevada, 45 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. San Francisco, cloudy conditions and 56 degrees. Los Angeles, 69 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Phoenix, Arizona, sunshine and 69. Las Vegas, Nevada, 61 degrees and mostly sunny skies there. Salt Lake City, 37 degrees and sunshine. Cutbank, Montana, 38 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Billings, Montana, 38 degrees and cloudy conditions for you. Denver, 42 degrees and sunshine. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 51 degrees and sunshine in there. El Paso, Texas, you're looking at a high of 62 degrees today with sunshine conditions. San Antonio, 46 degrees and rainfall. Brownsville, 55 degrees and sunshine, and cloudy skies for you. Houston, 44 and cloudy conditions. Dallas, Texas, 35 degrees and rainfall. Lubbock, Texas, sunshine and 54 degrees. Oklahoma City, you're looking at 48 degrees and a possibility of snowfall. Luckily, it'll be warm enough it won't stick around very long. Kansas City, you're looking at a high of 45 degrees and sunshine. Rapid City, South Dakota, 26 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Minus 4 degrees in Minot for a high today. And mostly sunny skies for you. International Falls, minus 5 degrees and mostly cloudy conditions there. Minneapolis, you're looking at a high of 11 degrees and sunshine. St. Louis, Missouri, 47 degrees and sunshine out there. Memphis, 38 degrees and rainfall. New Orleans, 68 degrees and rainy conditions for you. Tampa Bay, you're looking at 81 degrees for a high today and sunshine. Miami, 80 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Jacksonville, 79 degrees and mostly sunny skies for you. Atlanta, Georgia, 47 degrees and rainfall. Charlotte, North Carolina, 45 degrees with rainy conditions there. Cincinnati, Ohio, you're looking at the unfortunate pleasure of 41 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Detroit, 32 degrees and cloudy conditions there. Sault Ste. Marie, 19 degrees and snowfall going on. Buffalo, New York, you're coming in at 33 degrees and windy conditions. Boston, 38 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. Caribou, 22 degrees and snowfall going on for you guys. New York, you're looking at 42 for a high and mostly cloudy skies. Washington, D.C., 44 degrees and cloudy conditions for you. Norfolk, Virginia, 41 degrees and a little bit of rain. Nothing too bad. Charlotte, 45 degrees and rainfall going on for you. Let's take a look at your overnights. 37 degrees and cloudy conditions in Seattle. And the phone is ringing. Cutbank, Montana. You know what? That was the misses. So I'm going to have to take this one. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out tonight. We will see you in a little bit over at the library, where we're finishing up the book. Well, we're continuing the book, The Ranch. See you after a little bit.